I got so much coffee, it's gonna be a very chaotic one. I'm gonna be talking very fast, and then in the end, I will go into crash mode and will be slow and silly. Exciting. Hi, my name is Nadya. I'm the face behind Lemonknit channel, where every Thursday we discuss all things knitting. And judging by my background of my sofa with a lot of stuff on it, it means today's the classic podcast episode. As usual, we're gonna go through my finished projects in knitting, my works in progress, my knitting plans, my yarn acquisitions, and in the end, for those who are interested, I am always talking about media I consume throughout the month. It can be books, video games, movies, TV shows, anime, whatever is working for my mind this particular month. So without further ado, let's get into it. Grab your beverage of choice. I'm still watching you. Hydration is still very important. Like, guys, we're still in the summer. I know everybody's already downloading Gilmore Girls on their phones. Guys, wait. It's still hot. Let's still drink enough water, at least for now. Well, unless you are in Australia, then still drink water, but without being hot right now, I guess. Anyway, and to stop your questions from being asked, this t-shirt is not hand knit. I thrifted it on my small trip to Copenhagen in the beginning of July, which we're gonna go back in the yarn acquisition section. But yeah, it's a thrift, so I'm not even sure they make this t-shirt anymore because it was from a very small thrift store in a small city. If you ask me, this is the most Lemonknit t-shirt you've ever seen. Right? I'm trying to justify the price, okay? Let's get into it. Surprisingly, I did tell you to bring a beverage of choice and I forgot my drink. Should I just go and make myself one? But then I will be... Give me a minute. Okay, I got my beverage of choice, the Huleblomst elderflower concentrate. Refilled, let's go. Okay, if I'm looking a little bit more red and wet, that's because I am... I just managed to drop all of my Huleblomst concentrate on the floor. And then while I was wiping it, I managed to slip on it and fall down and drag a chair onto me. So now it's great mood to start the podcast. I'm in pain. It's all right. At least I didn't get any liquid on the wheel, so that's good already. Let's start. Otherwise, my motivation will be destroyed in like a few seconds. Starting with finished objects. My first finished object for today is my test knit for Kate Gray Designs of another fish sweater. It is finished. It took me about a month to knit it because it was a quite an addicting potato chip knit. I made it out of Drops Daisy, which is 100% merino, non-superwash. And I had some problems on the way. Let's talk about them. The first problem I came across with was that I didn't have enough orange yarn in this contrasting color. And obviously I didn't want to order one ball of yarn that costs like €2 and pay €5 for delivery. So instead, I decided to use my creative abilities. After all of the orange fish rows, we have a white fish row. I'm not sure if you can say it, I hope so. You might ask me, Nadya, why are there white fishes and why do they look like a fish skeleton? That's because, guys, there was a shark. A shark ate the fishes. So the last row is a shark and the leftovers of fishes. The shark did not turn out as good as I was hoping, but it's shiny, so I'm happy, and it's on the back, so it's not that visible. And obviously I reported that there was not enough yarn to Kate, so in the released pattern, this information will be updated. Now, my next problem was that I ran out of blue yarn. And in this case, I think it was more of my problem because I was using blue for all of the finishings. And I think in pattern, you were supposed to use the second contrast color. So it might be on me, but for the sake of making sure that everybody has enough yarn, I reported my yarn yardage with the additional blue yarn ball, because I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who will change the placements of colors inside the pattern. So it would be nice to know that you need a little bit more of one color than the other. So this will be updated. Now, the last thing that will be updated, but was not in my case, is the yoke length. I will add a picture of me wearing the sweater here, and you will be able to see that the yoke for my size is 6, turned out to be quite deep. And it's an oversized fit for a raglan sweater, so you can expect yoke to be a bit deeper according to different grading strategies, but it is too deep. Like, I would say a few centimeters too deep, not like 1 centimeter. So Kate took a look, and in the final pattern she will change the charts so that raglan will be shorter, so that your sleeves do not look like bat wings like mine does right now. This is not something I can fix without unraveling the sweater, so I'm not going to do that, because you know me, I'm not a re-knitter. I can fix some small mistakes. I don't mind fixing things that require me to like re-knit half a sleeve, but the whole sweater, no. The only solution for myself in order to make it a wearable sweater, like obviously I will still wear it. I am gonna wear it at home in winter. It's gonna be super cozy because I love the sweater. It looks cute as hell. And also Drops Daisy is super soft. So it's literally a warm hug. I'm not wearing it right now because it's way too hot to wear it, to be honest. It's DK weight yarn in 100% merino. You can imagine how hot it is. But my thoughts are that I saw someone saying that for round yoke sweaters, if they look silly on you, you can use shoulder pads, like built-in shoulder pads to make it have more shape. And I thought, but what if I use shoulder pads to kind of raise the shoulders a little bit, and then the amount of fabric going down will be smaller? Could that work? I'm not sure, but I think I might try. And also, obviously, you can try sewing parts together. You can try sticking portions and then sewing them together. I'm not sure I'm willing to do all that because I kind of like the sweater as it is. So I know that a lot of people would not agree with me and will find a deep yoke a problem. But since I already finished, I'm too excited to wear it as it is. So the only thing I will change though, and this one is completely my mistake, the sleeves came out too long for the reason of me underestimating my swatch. My swatch grew a lot and I accounted for it in the sleeve length, but apparently math did not math. So after blocking, I might have stretched out the sleeve a little bit too much. So now it's kind of like somewhere on my fingers. Now, I actually know that a lot of people prefer it this way. I just hate feeling sweaters on my fingers. So at the point when I will be using the sweater more and more, so closer to cooler months, I am gonna cut out one section of yellow and blue and kind of like re-knit the cuff like this so that the sweater is literally like the sleeves are shorter. That's not a problem at all. It's going to be a very quick fix. I just don't want to do that right now because it is too hard to work with DK weight yarn, which is also why I'm very happy I'm finished with the sweater because that was sweaty. Now, overall, the pattern was, I would say, easy to knit, but I think that a lot of test knitters from our group would disagree. A lot of people are having troubles with understanding how to read the raglan color work chart. So Kate is working with them to make it as easy to understand as possible. So it should not be a problem in the final pattern. And there are also some tweaks regarding the sleeve width and like rate of decreases for sleeves. For example, there's a modification I made actually. So it's not supposed to have a balloon kind of sleeve. but I made it this way. I really wanted to have this like more rapid decreases closer to the bottom of the sweater. Like you can see here, it's like very, can you see here? Like it's rapidly doing this shape, because I prefer that to straight sleeves, and in the pattern it's straight sleeves and the decrease rate was too low to not knit enormous sleeves. So Kate is also working on that. So I'm very hopeful at the like final pattern. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be very good because Kate is taking a lot of suggestions into consideration and working on them. I can see how overworked she is with everything, but she has like multiple different test knits and also knit along coming up. So a damn girl is busy. So this is the cute fish sweater. And first of all, I already said it's hella cute, but it's so cute that I knew I need to make something to match it. The second finished object is kind of like a collaboration design. So I designed the hat using the fish chart from the sweater. So it's gonna be a Kate Create Designs Lemon Knit collaboration pattern that will be sold on Kate's account, but I will be writing the pattern, and I think I will be also taking care of test knits because Kate has a lot on her plate. And this is this cute hat. I'm planning to grade it to adult large, adult medium, and child sizes. It is a double folded ribbed 2x2 ribbed beanie with the fishes all around, and obviously not weaved in ends, because who am I to weave in ends that are not visible. A pom-pom out of leftover yarns that you will have from your sweater or your hat. And my favorite detail is that I actually made it raglan decreases for the top, for the crown of the hat. So it kind of matches the vibe of the sweater the most. And I really like it actually. Like the first sample I made, like it was the same sample, I just reknit the crown completely after some time because I didn't like how the top of the hat was looking, because I wanted it to look like kind of like adult version of a kid's hat, you know, the one you wear to playground. Because for me, the fish sweater is very cute and fun, and I think that even when we are adults, we are allowed to wear fun things. So this is how this came alive. And my second idea was that after knitting a sweater, you generally, if you are not a yarn chicken player, you usually have a bit more yarn than you needed for the sweater. So you usually have leftovers, and they are very annoying because it's too small to start a proper project. It's a lot to just like count them as scraps. So this hat is basically perfect for using up the scraps of the sweater you just made. And I kind of think it's a very cool idea to make matching hats for your sweaters, like overall, because you already have usually enough yarn. For example, if you have DK weight sweaters, they usually don't use that much yarn for a hat. Like this hat was, I would say, like, I will count properly later, but I would say around 0.8 balls of yellow daisy, 0.5 of blue, and like 0.2 ball of the orange one. So literally leftovers. And I like it very much. I can't wait to wear these two together. The only problem is that this one has blue ribbings, and here I made the ribbing yellow, simply because I did not have that much blue left. So I might need to make myself another hat like that. I'm currently also working on a small sample for children's size, because before starting test knitting, I want to make sure that children's size actually fits children, because I've never actually tried to fit children into hats. I don't have children, but luckily my friend Amy has a child. So unfortunately, I will have to use my friend's child and his head for some trying out the children's version. Hi Amy, get ready. So this is another fish sweater. It's gonna be coming out somewhere in September or October, I believe, because the test knit is running until like Middle of September, I'm pretty sure not everybody will be done by then. People are not very quick to knit DK weight wool sweaters in August and July, and I totally get that. The only reason I finished so fast was because I wanted to get the woolly wool off my fingers when it was a heat wave here. So now I have another very exciting finished object. I finished the second toe-up sock by Fingernamed for my husband. I was on a long train ride to Copenhagen in the beginning of July, so I was bored. So I literally knit from around this stripe up until the ribbing here, and the ribbing I did the next day. So it's finally a pair. It took me just like, what, 6 months? 6 or 7 months to finish this pair. This is what happens to travel projects in my family. Reminder for myself that I do not like to knit finger weight yarn socks. I should stick to DK. But I'm very happy that they are finished and my husband is loving them and they actually fit, which is also surprising. Thank you very much, Fingernamed, for making socks that are actually suitable for size 45. Somebody has very, very long feet. On this note, let's move to works in progress. What should we start with? Let's start with the only project you actually saw in the previous podcast, which was Trail by Ronja Hakalekto. It's a shawl from her Unfolding Landscapes book with Liney. This is the size it is right now. Why is it so small yet? Have you not been working on it, Nadya? I have, but ever since I finished the socks, it automatically became my travel project. So this is now what I need on the bus, on the train, when I go somewhere at the cafe. So it's gonna take me quite some time, but I'm in no rush. This is the only time where I really am not rushing the project because I enjoy knitting this garter stitch soft, squishy scarf very much. I'm still not sure if I'm gonna make it like a full shawl size or like more a smaller shawl. I think I should go for a big one, because it's gonna be very cozy to use just like for a warm embrace during autumn, if I will be able to finish it by autumn. I'm using a merino cone from I have no idea where, because I thrifted it on Vinted for a very small price. But it is just the softest merino and I'm absolutely in love with how it's feeling. It's so squishy. It's gonna be super cozy, but it's gonna take me a long time. Another project you have seen in the previous podcast has now gone into hibernation. Affiliate Tank is now officially hibernating simply because I had too many projects on small needles and I didn't have enough needles, and some of them are time sensitive. So for now it's in the hibernation bin, but if you know me, then you know that I do not leave any projects to last past New Year's Eve, so it will be finished this year. I absolutely do not tolerate whips going on to the next year, so at some point we're coming back in the next few months. And I think this hibernation is extra hilarious because I actually influenced my friend Amy to knit an affiliate tank, and she has already finished. And I think she loves it. I'm not sure. We need to ask her. Amy, comments are here. Tell us what you think. Amy actually found a big mistake in the pattern, in the lace for the neck section, that Tamara said that she will update in the pattern, but still hasn't, even though it has been like 10 months since she said that she will. So we might as well nudge her a little bit because it is a bit confusing for someone. If you were a beginner, you would be confused with what's going on there. Which reminds me, when you find mistakes in patterns, don't forget to notify designer about it, and preferably not only mention it in your project notes on Ravelry, but also in the pattern comments, because it can really help the others. We should look out for each other and not just trust that designers will do the perfect job. And that's community lesson of today. Now let's switch to something exciting, because all other projects on my needles are new cast-ons. I think. Maybe one of them isn't. I don't remember. We'll see. The one I don't remember if it was in the latest podcast or not is Groovy Tank by Midsummer Knits. I'm knitting it as a part of Knit Along that Emma has on her page. She's having a Midsummer Knits top along, I think it's called, or something like that. But basically, Emma has released 4 summer tops already. Brie boat neck, heartless top, Persephone top, and Groovy Tank. The last one was the most obvious. And you can choose which one you want to knit. And basically, we need to knit it until the middle of September, I think. Now, I already had the Groovy Tank pattern in my library because I actually won the pattern last year in Emma's giveaway. So I was like, I wanted to knit it anyway. Why don't I just cast it on and have this time requirement motivate me to knit it faster? So here I am. And you might say, Nadya, this is such a small progress. Did you start yesterday? I've been working on it every day for 3 weeks. It is 2.25 millimeter needles. It is not growing. Thanks to this top, I actually got my first ever Instagram viral reel because people were relating a lot to fingering weight yarns on small needles. Not growing. It's not growing. The thing is, this is the bottom up top. So this is like kind of like the waist. And I need at least like 12 centimeters before I start the bust shaping. I am at 7 centimeters and it took me all my life motivation to make it to this point. So I'm a little bit worried about it. But I must say, this is looking cute. Yes, this is 2x2 ribbing on very small needles, but it looks cute, especially in this color. I'm using Gun Palette and Silkebow, a hand-dyed Danish yarn with silk, wool, and viscose in it. And I must say, it might become one of my favorite summer yarns in the near future. So let's see what's gonna happen next year in my summer yarns favorites. The only problem, other than the fact that I'm not sure that I will ever finish it because it doesn't grow, is that I might be knitting a wrong size. It's supposed to have negative ease, and I thought I was doing everything properly. And measurements-wise, it is proper. But every time I'm like doing this, I'm like, is it gonna be too big because it's ribbing? I knitted for so long that I already don't want to know the answer. So my plan is that by the time I reach the bust shaping, so where the cups are gonna start, I will put it on a spare cable and actually put it on myself. And if I will see that it is too big, I will either, I have 2 ideas, either use an elastic on my waist and put it through the whole top so to make it more scrunched, and use like kind of like manipulate the amount of stitches a little bit for the cups so that it goes to a smaller size. Or even worse idea, I will do some sewing and kind of sew this part like this and then sew it to the back so that I have some thick layer on the sides, but the ribbing will be more fitting. But for now, I'm just hoping that it is the correct size, honestly. Right now, I'm just hoping because I'm not unraveling it. It took too long. It took too long, I'm sorry. And it's the first time ever I haven't had any mistakes in my 2x2 ribbing, so I'm not unraveling it. No, not in the world. This is insane. The yarn though, I absolutely love. This is such a nice yarn. It reminds me of a sturdier version of Tides from Holst, but they are discontinuing it, so this might be the replacement for it. Also, shout out to my friend Maya, who gave me these cute end stoppers, like stitch stoppers, because I didn't have any that would fit a 2.25 millimeter needles. This was the only one that did, so now I'm very happy about it. Can we appreciate how cute this ball looks like? So many cute colors. On to the next one. Next project is also time sensitive because this is a test knit for Fioricini knits, and this is Marta cardigan. Now this one was supposed to be knit on 3.5mm needles. Unfortunately, I am not rich enough to get Cardiff cashmere, which is a very thin but plump yarn because of how fluffy and soft it is. And I'm using a merino cone from Woolly Yarn for it, extra fine merino actually. So I'm using, to hit the gauge, 3.0mm needles. And it is definitely a project built on love for knitting. This is the process knit for sure. This has, like, the back is completely stockinette, but the front has this absolutely sweet texture on it. There is a lace panel, there are 2 cables, there's another lace panel, and it's gonna have ribbing on the cuffs and finishings with the scalloped ribbing at the end, which is super cute. I am obsessed with this color. I did not think this color would match me. I'm calling it my watermelon cardigan, but I absolutely love this color. Let's see if I can actually try it on, because I have finally joined to knit, not in the round, but like together. Ooh, I can actually try it on. And there's also gonna be button band, obviously. How cute is this color? Like, not with this t-shirt, obviously, but by itself, how cute is this color? And also the texture. And after blocking, I tried to block the swatch already. It's gonna look so much better. And since it's a combed yarn, it's gonna open up a lot. So like for now, if I show you the back, you can definitely see how see-through the fabric is. Like you can definitely see a lot of holes and gaps. Can you see? You should be able to see. You can even see me behind it, right? But after blocking, it fills up with the fibers who let go out like of machine spinning oil. And this yarn has a lot of it. Like it feels almost like linen because of that. After washing though, I can't wait. I could do a mid-project block to make it soft and nice, but will I do that? No. I'm knitting on it every day. I can't afford to wait for it to dry. But yeah, I'm about 2 centimeters into the body and I need around 18 centimeters, I think. I don't remember. A lot of work to do because it's a lot of stitches. It's fingering weight yarn. I would even say light fingering yarn on very small needles. So this is gonna take me a lot of time, but I really enjoy the process. Also, I really enjoy that by this like point at cardigan, like I've already like split for sleeves and the body, right? My favorite part is that it has been like 75 grams of yarn. So by the end, I think I'll finish with like 150 grams of yarn used out of 500 gram cone, which is super impressive if you ask me. I'm pretty sure that I'm the only one impressed by it because like there are a lot of people who actually knit with fingering weight yarns and they know how long they run. For me, it's always a surprise because I'm used to knitting with DK weight, yarn weight. I am more of a thicker yarn girly, so I'm impressed. I am very impressed in a good way. The last new whip I have here is another knit along because I am insane. I went crazy on the time crunching projects. They kind of all were like, they lined up at the same time. I can't do anything about it. My apartment is slowly becoming a temple of Fioricini knits because this is the second project by Fioricini knits on my needles and there will be one in my plans as well. What can I say? Beatrice makes amazing patterns. This is a second version of Sunflower Top, the blue one. Well, I'll show you the pictures. You might probably remember one. I was test knitting it for Beatrice, and now the pattern is released and she started a knit along. Now, when I was in Copenhagen, I had some time, like a very small amount of time, in the morning before going to Dragør. We were right next to Tante Grøn yarn shop. And I knew one thing about this shop is that they have Prue Yarn's Mermaid Tears in their stock because I saw it before. And ever since I saw Calibri by Johanna use those pearls in her designs, I was obsessed with it and wanted to try it so bad that my husband and I went to the shop, we saw the yarn, and we immediately got it together with Tunline from Sandnes Garn in a very similar color. This is the result of it. I just had to cast on another sunflower top in this more like wisteria kind of color. So the front panel is done. I'm working on the back panel. After that, it's going to be not a very long body and the scallop edge at the bottom. And I'm also planning to add some either edging or cap sleeves for this version. But this is absolutely not the color I usually go for. Like, I don't even think this suits me by itself. I'm not sure. Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'm sure it's not from like my color palette or whatever. But it looks so cute. I don't even care if it fits me or not. I'm gonna wear it to the death. Hopefully it's just gonna be very far away from now because it's definitely a product knit other than project. Now, if you saw my summer yarns video, I told you that I prefer Tunline over Line from Sandnes, and Tunline is actually softer and splits less, and I love it. It is true when you hold Tunline alone or with another thread of Tunline. But with Mermaid Tears, oh boy, it is so splitty. It's insane, first of all. Second of all, there are so many places where beads got like turned off, so they're like just like random threads pulling from the yarn. I was able to kind of like push them on the wrong side, so it's not gonna be visible, but I'm still mad because it's quite an expensive yarn. I think it might be like a problem of transportation or something. And this is one of the cases where I am sure it was not my fault because I was transporting it in a tote bag from Tante Gron, so it didn't have anything to actually catch on. It was not like in my bag or something with my keys, you know. So it is super pretty. It is super pearly. It is, everybody wants to buy it now in our like test, in our Knit Along chat. Everybody is obsessed and wants this yarn now. Even Beatrice said that she needs those pearls now. And I completely agree that it looks amazing. The process though, not very amazing. But to be fair, knowing how cute the sunflower top is in the end, I am still very excited for this project. Simply because I've worn my first sample so much that I know this one is gonna get all the love it can possibly get. Because it flatters any kind of body. Just go through like the testers projects for sunflower top. I haven't seen anybody who would look bad in it. And this is coming from somebody who doesn't like boat necks. And another second of appreciation for Beatrice because she's been cranking out patterns like crazy. I really hope she won't burn out because she is working a lot. But all of her designs, and like she posted a few upcoming designs as well, and I'm going insane because now I want to test knit each and every one of them. And I don't have the capacity to do that, and I'm very sad about it. But I guess I'll just wait until they're released and make them later. Which also moves us to the knitting plans. Since we are already talking about Beatrice and Fioricini knits, my first plan is closer to September, but I think I will cast on before the next podcast. And the plan is Lola Cardigan by Fioricini Knits. Now, Beatrice was sweet enough to gift me the pattern for the test knit I did for Sunflower Top. So I already have the pattern and I already have yarn for it. I realized that I have 6 balls of Camarosa Midnight Sol. That is perfect yarn to use for this cardigan. Now, the original samples are made in 2 strands of mohair held together, but I saw a few testers and also already not only testers, but also just a project on Instagram that was knit in brushed alpaca silk from Drops, which is a thicker alpaca yarn, and it is closer to Camaro's Minasol than a mohair strand, and it looks amazing in just 1 strand. So I decided I will give it a go. I unfortunately don't have the needles for it right now because it uses the same size as the sunflower top. So I first need to finish that, lose the weight for casting on, and I will still need to pay a lot of attention to the swatch, blocking it, and actually adding weight to the swatch, because it's hard to predict with yarns like that, made without any like strengthening yarn to hold it with. It's hard to predict how it will behave after blocking and after the weight of the garment is pulling onto this yarn. So we'll see how it goes. I will pay extra attention to the swatch because I don't want to ever unravel anything with alpaca in it. And I'm pretty sure you know why. But I'm very excited about it, and it's gonna be in this aubergine color that gonna fit everything in my wardrobe, which is amazing. Now the next plan is kind of a prolongation of the plan from before, but also going into hibernation. Because if you watched my previous podcast, I was planning to start Nurture Bralette by Celine Knits. I did, in merino silk from Life in the Long Grass. I finished about 40% of it. I realized it is not fitting me at all, so I need to reknit it completely. I unraveled it, and after I unraveled it, I realized I do not want to do that now. But I absolutely loved the fabric and I loved working on it, so I am pretty sure that I will pick it up next year in the beginning of spring so that I will be able to actually wear it in summer. So it is not going into full hibernation, it's going to like kind of moving to the queue for the next year. So it's kind of planned, but for the future. The next plan that is gonna be the most recent cast on is Fiona Flower sweater by Maybe the Label or Famke. I realized that I haven't knit anything from my Make 9 in quite a few times. Since we knit up in what, April/May, and it's August. So I have 2 out of 9 on my Make 9. Not ideal. And I was never planning to finish all 9, to be fair. Like I told you when I was making it that I am too chaotic to actually finish Make 9. But I did have my own plan that I want to finish one Make 9 project every season. So like every 3 months, every quarter, whatever. And this season is coming to an end. So I was going through the list of the projects. I am not excited about a few of them, so I kind of brushed them off. But I'm still very excited with at least 3 out of the projects on my Make 9. And one of them is still Fiona Flower sweater by Maybe the Label. And I realized that I have just the amount of leftover yarn from the cardigan I was test knitting for Ganslöwen in March and April. So this alpaca merino cone from Garnspecialisten is a perfect yarn for this project. I made a gauge swatch and it was a perfect hit. So the second I finish any of my whips right now, I am moving on to the Fiona Flower sweater. And I can't wait because I'm really craving something like a chunky knit, but also I'm not gonna do that before it gets at least a little bit cooler because we have like 26 degrees Celsius tomorrow. Not a chunky knit weather if you ask me. And the last knitting plan I have right now is an influenced one because my friend Maya showed her Halo sweater by Kadri, and she made it with a tweedy beige yarn, and I absolutely fell in love with it, and I can't stop thinking about it, how scrumptious the texture is. And I was thinking about making Azetta's Lakes v-neck, but when I saw this Harlow, I was like, I need it in my life because I love v-necks and I don't have enough v-neck sweaters to wear. I only have one v-neck cardigan and one v-neck mohair sweater that are not even hand knit, and they contain polyester. And if you know me, I don't really like wearing polyester. I'm getting too sweaty. So I was like, I need it. Now, I found a perfect yarn for it. Actually, I found 2 perfect yarns for it. There is a European cone shop called Woolunatics. So Woolunatics, I really like the name. And they have this gorgeous Donegal tweed in this beige slash coffee-like color. It is so scrumptiously beautiful. I can't stop thinking about it. And I also found a following thread of cashmere, alpaca, and yak in a color that will match very well with this yarn to make it softer and fluffier. And together they're supposed to give me a perfect gauge for Harlow V-neck sweater by Kadri. And I want to buy it. But I told myself that first in August I am busy finishing the project and using up yarns that I have right now, because I've been very good at using my stash. Even though you'll see I got new yarns, I just was very strategic about it, okay? So I will wait until September when I will actually have time to knit the sweater, and then I will order those cones. The only problem is that, as usually with cones on websites that are selling the dead stock yarn, there's absolutely no guarantee that people won't buy all of this yarn by the time I'm ready to order, and then it won't be restocked because it's dead stock. That's the whole idea of dead stock. So I'm a little bit worried, but I kind of feel like if the sweater was meant to be, then this yarn will wait for me until September and I will get it then. So I'm very excited about it. A lot of plans, we never know if any of them will be actually coming to life, because you know me, I am the chaos. But we'll see. And with this, we're moving on to the yarn acquisitions. Now, the most cool one is this gorgeous cone in wine color. And it's not just an acquisition, but it's from the lovely Kasia from Pros and Paws. She was selling her yarn on Vinted, and I was very interested in this cone of this gorgeous color, and it's like 100% lamb's wool. And she made a cardigan, if I'm not mistaken, like wine cardigan from Sanna Norlund, I think. And it looked amazing, so I had to have it. And Kasia was so sweet. She actually, not only did she give me a huge discount, she also sent me 3 sets of handmade buttons made by her. To say that I am obsessed is to say nothing. I'm so thankful. I'm pretty sure she's watching this, so once again, thank you so much. And I can't wait to use them on one of the cardigans I'm gonna be knitting in the following few months. As we can see, it's quite a lot. So I'm very obsessed with this idea, and they are so cute. This yarn though is super impressive. It's not the thinnest, which was a surprise for me actually. I thought it would be thinner, but that's actually good. So I have some drops brushed alpaca silk in the very similar color of Bordeaux wine colorway. Now I was thinking to hold this with brushed alpaca silk and make myself either a vest or a cardigan. I have not decided yet, but I'm sure I need to use it this autumn, because this is the color that is really, really missing from my wardrobe. I don't have anything in Bordeaux, but I am very sure that this color is perfect for me. Like, can we see the vision? I think that's the vision. Now, there's a yarn kind of fail in a way. I was waiting for a bus and it was not to come in quite a long time. Like, it was more than 50-minute wait. And there was a secondhand shop not far away from the bus station. So I went there to check for yarns, and I found 2 cones of yarn that was super soft in this gorgeous, also like Bordeaux-ish color. Super soft, super nice. It feels like woolly wool, the wooliest wool you can imagine. And it was €1 per cone of 150 grams. Obviously, I snatched those 2 cones. Who wouldn't, right? So I get to the bus and I kind of like unstick the sticker that they put in the secondhand store with the price on it. I unstick it to see that the cone actually had the composition of yarn under the sticker, which is 100% acrylic. Now, I'm not a snob when it comes to what people knit with. I don't give a hell. I personally usually hate to knit with acrylic because I just don't like the feeling of it on my fingers, and also don't like to wear it. But I must say, this is such a high quality acrylic, small family owned Greek mill that only does like luxurious synthetic materials. It is super soft. And if I didn't know it was acrylic, I would not believe it was acrylic, to be fair. It feels great. So I'm definitely using it for something because I absolutely love the color and the feel of it. But I feel bamboozled. And the last thing I got is this gorgeous cone I got on Vinted for dirt cheap. Once again, it was, I don't remember how much it was. It was just like nothing for, how much was it? I don't remember. It was like 500, maybe more, 700? 700, I think it was, of 100% baby alpaca in this gorgeous blue color that is absolutely matching most of the blue yarns I have. So it's gonna be a perfect, soft, 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 extremely soft following thread for my knits. And I have a lot of blue yarns. If you know me, blue is my color. So very, very excited to use this one. Now, all other of my like yarn acquisitions are not exactly acquisitions. It was Tour de Fleece month. So I have spun a lot of yarn and I have some new yarns in my stash because of me spinning yarn. And which ones you can check in this video talking about Tour de Fleece. If you're interested about it. Also, here's a picture of the yarns. I made a picture of everything I made during Tour de Fleece, and I'm very excited about it. So they are also in my stash, but the ones that are from hand-dyed braid that I bought from Fingernamed, I will keep one of the skeins, but 2 other skeins of 30 grams I will be selling on the market in September, because I simply don't need that much contrasting color for my knits. I spun it quite thin, so I don't really see the reason to keep it in my stash. I will also be selling a lot of like leftover cool yarns that I have that are just like taking space. Because for example, I have 100% merino from Knitting for Olive and I only use like 10 grams of the ball. So I will be selling stuff like this in my Lemony Treasures at the market at Fingernamed booth, because I'm obviously coming with Amy to the market to keep her company and meet other vendors that we befriended throughout the other markets this year. And I'm so happy that I'm able to help my friend grow her business and spend time with her at such a special occasion. Now, if you are only here for the knitting stuff, this is the end of the video. I am very thankful that you watched it. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, pressing the like button, maybe hyping up the video, and I'll see you in the next one. However, if you would like to listen to my consumed media, let's start. First of all, I finally finished a book I was reading for quite some time. It's called Recursion by Blake. Was it Crouch? Was it Couch? My brain right now is saying Blake Lively, and I'm pretty sure that's not the case. It is a very nice book. I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads. I give it my personal 10 out of 10 because it was a very potato chippy knit. Book. Read. Potato chippy read. The book has a very interesting structure and I really like how it doesn't let you have a pause, kinda, you know? It is a thriller and it is a kinda like a sci-fi thriller, I would say. I'm not sure how to categorize it. The premise is that we follow a story of the world where people started getting a very weird disease called, it's been a month since I finished the book, so I don't remember. Was it like reconstructed memory syndrome or wrong memory? There was like some cool way to describe that they were getting false memories. Basically, at some point, people started randomly getting a feeling that they had a full another life before the one they're having right now. And not like they remembered their past lives. And it's not a religious thing at all. They felt like up to this point of their life, they have lived 2 different lives that are now connecting in one point. And a lot of people were going insane from it because like you don't know what's true anymore. You have these weird visions of your another life that kind of feels like a black and white memory. A lot of people were deciding to finish their own lives because of that. And we have a policeman who met someone who had this situation going on, and he wasn't able to save her, but he decided that he needs to investigate what is going on, especially since after meeting her, he also started having this syndrome of false memory syndrome. FMS, I remembered. So the book is his investigation into what was going on, and it is giving a little bit of the movie Inception by the level of thinking in multiple parallel existences, I would say. It is a really cool book. That's what I can say for sure. It has high stakes for all the decisions the characters make, and it has some real tragic love story that is not the center of the book, which is also very nice. So I would definitely recommend it if you like to read heart-stopping kind of thrillers that also make you confused about what's going on. Because like for the first half of the book, I was like, I kind of understand what's going on, but I don't understand what's going on. That was confusing, but in the end, it was so worth it. So definitely recommend this one. I think it's gonna be my favorite book of this year if I don't find anything cooler. This was just like the most... I was thinking about this book for a week after I finished it. That's how good it was. I was sad that I was finished. The next book I finished was my sister's suggestion, and it's Clara and the Sun by this author. I do not remember the name. It's a book about the world where it is normal for your kids to have their own personal robot that is their friend, basically artificial girlfriend or artificial boyfriend that lives with your kid, watches them kind of like a nanny, and helps them with socialization and goes with them everywhere. The story is told following Clara, which is also an artificial friend, but she is a little bit more developed in her brain model, I guess, which means she is the most empathetic robot that was ever released by the company. So she notices a lot more than other robots do, and she cares a lot about the world around her and the people that she cares for. So we dive into the story of a robot who is emotionally very close to humans, but still is a robot and has her own rational and irrational beliefs. And we follow how the world, the real world, will treat her and how she will try to find her place in this world. It was amazing. I consumed it as an audiobook, and it was with a Russian voice actress. I am not sure if I would like this book as much as I did if it was another voice actor, because this voice actress was so good. I'm obsessed. If you know Russian, I would definitely recommend to listen to this book in Russian. My sister also said that she especially liked this book because of the voice actress, and I 100% confirm she is absolutely amazing at her job. But I'm pretty sure the book itself is also very good. I just might have had bigger pleasure of listening to it because of the voice actress. Super nice book. If I remember correctly, there's an equalization, there's a live action movie or TV show going to be released this autumn based on this book with Jenna Ortega as Clara. So you might want to read this book before the movie is released. And the last media we have on my list is a video game called Crushed in Time. A few years ago, I really liked a game called There's No Game. It was a very funny game made with a broken fourth wall between developers and the game. We even had some videos of developers inside the game as in-game characters. It was crazy. It was so much fun. It was one of those abstract, chaotic humor games / puzzles. It was hilarious, it was fun, I really liked it, and I was following the developers ever since. And they released a new game called Crushed on Time. It is a story about a game release gone wrong. So the game of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson has been kind of like broken, so the build is a bit weird. And in this build, you can control the characters, and you kind of have to control the characters for them to move around the plot. And the whole control system is not just point and click, it's drag and click. Basically, you're dragging everything around, including the characters, and also snapping them with your cursor so that they move. It is a very unique control system. Also, it is still a hilarious game with a lot of jokes, a lot of just like different types of humor, and it also feels like old quests from the 90s and 20s. Those games were hilarious, and it was mostly based on absurd jokes. Like, you were absolutely stunned by how the developers created some puzzles. They were insane. They were not like logical. Like, you had to click everything and come up with weird combinations in order to pass the game. This is similar to Cursed in Time. Like, some of the puzzles inside the game are absolutely insane, and this is what actually makes this game great. It feels like a breath of fresh air, basically. I am obsessed with this game. I still haven't finished it. I am stuck at one of the levels, and I am not Googling like the walkthrough. I will beat it myself, so I am stuck, but I absolutely love it. And I recommend it to everybody who likes story-based games, point-and-click games, and who loves humor in games. It is so much fun. Also, you can punch people. Don't you like games where you can punch people? Don't tell me you don't. I know a lot of people like Mortal Kombat and everything. This is similar, but without actual violence. So, Nadya approved. We don't like violence on this channel. We do like hitting people with cursor, however. I'm definitely not a hypocrite. And that's it! I am hoping that you guys like this video, and I also would like to thank all of you for us reaching 900 subscribers. This is insane. I did not expect that to happen this year, to be honest. I know I have it on the bingo, but I did not really believe that we're gonna make it. And I don't really know how to handle it, because I did not expect my channel to grow anywhere, because it's just me ranting about yarn and knits. So I'm very thankful, and I'm very happy for all of you who are here commenting, and I'm having such a great time. In the meanwhile, I'm working on the server where we can be able to talk better, and I am hoping to release the Kraken, so like the link to the server, by the time I reach 1,000 subscribers. So let's hope I finish working on it. I don't have too much time to do it right now, but I'm trying to like kind of collect everything and make it into something fun. So we'll see how it goes, and I will see you guys in the next video next week on Thursday as usual. Bye bye!